What's going on, y'all? I'm back with another one. So I was in a dating show, one of my dating shows that I do, talk about relationships, and somebody asked me, I forgot how the question came up, but somebody ended up asking me, they was like, hey, why do girls get their period so young? It really doesn't make sense for girls to get their period that young, and, because most girls get their period around 12 to 13 years old. Some people differ. But it's mostly around 12, 13-year old. Here's the statistics right here. So here's the statistics, 12 to 13. Most people start their periods between, most females start their periods between 12 and 13. However, it's normal to start your period a little early or later. And this is Healthline, healthline.com. So they asked this question. I gave them an answer. I said, well, listen, the human body was created, thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. Whether you believe in God or you believe in evolution, it really doesn't matter. Humans have existed for a very long time. And the basic understanding of humans since thousands of years ago, it really wasn't until recent times. I believe we're in the 20, I believe we're in the 20 and 21st century. I'm sorry, we're going to have to, I'm not going to keep restarting these videos. Hold on. I just like to be correct, y'all. So excuse me. Yeah, we're in the 21st century. So it wasn't until recently, till the 21st century, that people really started living longer, and the 20th century. You know what I'm saying? So between the 20th and 21st century, that's when a lot of people just started living. Hold on, what is this? Let me look at this chart real quick. Oh, it's a Wikipedia chart. Okay, never mind. It wasn't until recently that people started really living in mass. Some people have lived till their 90s, but it wasn't really until mass people started living until 80, 90 years old. You know what I'm saying? That really wasn't a big thing, thousands of years ago. You know what I'm saying? So for the human body to have existed so long, and now we're just catching up to living up to we're 80. Not to say everybody didn't make it till 80, but I'm saying around the 20th century, which I believe, yeah, would be that the 2000s. Oh, the 2000s. That's 21st, and then, oh yeah, the 21st is starting at 2000. Then 20th century, I believe, is starting at 1900. Let me just look to be correct. Okay, yes, 1900. So the 20th century would be the 1900s. So basically, like I said, between the 20th and 21st centuries, people started living up to their 80s and 90s. That's why, some people's grandmothers were born in 1920s, 1930s, 1940s, and some people's grandmothers, grandfathers, now they're living to be 80, 90s, even 100 years old. But that's because of the advancement of modern medicine. Now, you figure in the 19th century would be the 1800s. People didn't live that long. And I have those facts right here too. So just give me 1 minute. Let me just explain the whole idea behind the period. So basically, the average human lifespan back then, thousands of years ago, was about 30 years old. So you figure, if you get your period, let's just say at 15, you only have 15 years left to go. You know what I'm saying? Generally speaking, you only had another 15 to go. And on top of that, kids didn't live long. Kids really didn't live. You know what I'm saying? You had a high rate of infant mortality. You know what I'm saying? Just because of, like I said, the advancements of the disadvantages of modern medicine. You didn't have a lot of hospitals. You didn't have a lot of doctors. Things were understood about the human body. So you had these complications, especially during childbirth and after childbirth. You know what I'm saying? There were so many things going on. So you only have 15 years to really have a multitude of kids. You know what I'm saying? So imagine she's 16, she's pregnant. You can lose your life. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have the advancements of modern medicine with C-sections and all these other things, and you didn't have it back then. You know what I'm saying? As far as the 1800s, 1700s, 1600s, and way earlier, you didn't have all these advancements in modern medicine like you do now. So let me just go to the chart right here so you can see what I'm talking about. Life expectancy is the 1800s. As you can see, it was around 25. America's 35, Europe 34, Africa 26, Asia 28, Oceania 35. So, like, again, if you're 15, you're having a baby, you got to pop those babies out. You know what I'm saying? Because, the child could die. You didn't have, like I said, you didn't have, the advancements of cars, planes, and boats. You didn't have supermarkets to go to. You had a bazaar or something like that. But you didn't have as many things as you do now. So that's why I tell people, this really goes into another subject. I believe I don't know. No, I didn't make a live on that. But this goes to another subject of why people have less kids, why people get married less, because you live longer. You know what I'm saying? People just feels like they're entitled to live until they're 80 years old, which back then wasn't the case. You know what I'm saying? People understood the urgency of time back then. Basically, because you 15 years, you lived another 15 years and then you're gone. You know what I'm saying? Or another 20 years, then you're gone. You know what I'm saying? You're out of there. You know what I'm saying? So around 30 to 35, you weren't going to make it. You know what I'm saying? And this was going on for thousands of years. You know what I'm saying? This was going on for all these centuries, from BC to AD. This up until the 1900s. You know what I'm saying? This was going on. So people had an urgency about time. People was like, no, I can't waste time. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that were did back then that are frowned upon now. So I'm not advocating any of that. I'm just speaking from a factual standpoint. Please do not use my words to argue for an argument upon other things. I'm just saying, putting some paint where it ain't. So, that's why females generally get their periods at a younger age of, 12, 13. At 16 or whatever they do back then. They went off and got married. They had kids. And that's generally what happened, because you didn't live till 50 years old. You didn't live till 60, 70, 80 years old. You didn't live that long. You know what I'm saying? So the human body was conditioned for these purposes. You know what I'm saying? Now we have the advancement of modern medicine. We have hospitals, supermarkets. Basically, you can call 911. You can get an ambulance to your house in 2 minutes? I like to be factual, so let's look that up. How fast does a ambulance come to you? Oops. And then you also have police and everything else, and helicopters. Okay, so it's 7 minutes. 7 minutes is the average time emergency units get there. Now, you didn't have that back then. You didn't have that. More than likely, the doctor, he was miles away, and he would take about 2-3 days to get there. So if you're having a baby, he got to get on his donkey or horse and come into town. But if you live in the middle of nowhere, yeah, you didn't have any doctors. So if there was a lot of blood lost on a childbirth, you were out of luck. Because the doctor's not going to sit around till the baby gets there. He got to cure other people's ailments. You know what I'm saying? He got to be on the move. A doctor was a luxury back then. You know what I'm saying? Oh, especially if you didn't have the money. Shit. But that's what I said. It was people understood time back then. Now, like I said, you have things on your phone. You just call up, boop, 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 and the person will be there within the 7 minutes. You can get a pizza the same as fast as you can get a goddamn ambulance. So people don't understand the luxuries they have today. But the human body is still conditioned for these older times. Now, whatever people want to do and practice, that's on them. But the tools are here. So we cannot sit up there and say the tools aren't here. Is whether you want to use them or not. So let's advance, right? Let's advance. Hold on, let me get my tabs right. So up until the 1950s, that's when people started living to 68, 50, and sometimes, you know, it says in Africa it was still a little bit grim down there. 33, 34. Asia was 43. Europe was 66. So let's just take a look at the chart. The 1950s. So the global average was 46 years old in the 1950s. It says in the borders of 2015. So I guess between 1915 and 2015. I guess that's what it's saying. So that's actually 1950. So the average lifespan was 46. So hold on. You can say, well, what are you talking about, man? What does that have to do with Oh, hold on. You know what? Let me do this for you because I'll pull up multiple charts. So this is this is Statista. So life expectancy for birth in the United States from 1860 to 2020. So as you can see, this chart gets larger and larger and larger and larger. So you see the 1800s is around 39, 40. So like again, if you're 15, you only got like 15, 20 more years. And then, you know, the advancement of horses and cars and everything that came about. So like I said, now it's 60, right? Now we're in the 19th century. 1935, you live till 60. We have more advanced medicine and horses and, you know, I don't think we had planes yet, but no, maybe we did have. No, maybe we did have planes back then, 1930s. But you know, you had cars and everything. You had buses. You had trains. You had a bunch of stuff back then. You know what I'm saying? It was quicker to get around. So look at this. Take a look at this chart real quick. Take a look at this chart. Whoa, this chart looks familiar, right? Chart is very similar. What is this chart? Estimated median age of Americans at their first wedding in the United States. Bam, that is that. Hold on, let's go back. That chart is very similar. Look at that chart. And look at this chart. Chart is very familiar. Marriage and age, this chart is on to something here. You know what I'm saying? So this is the similarities. You can conclude from looking at these charts. I have several charts up here to back up these theories. I'll go through the charts at the end of the video. But you can see by these charts, the longer people live, the longer people held off marriage. Interesting. You know what I'm saying? Because now we have it. We're in 2021. Most people are getting married around 30 to 35. Now, this is from 2019. It says men get married around 30, women around 28. But again, when we go back to the older chart, the human body is still the same, which says most people get their period around 12 or 13. So with the laws and everything in place of, you know, we have modernness going on now, you can still have kids around 18 and 19. You can still, maybe I should have added that chart in. Let's add that chart in real quick. But you can see around 18, 19, you can still get married and have kids. But from these charts, one could conclude that the longer people live, the longer they hold off on marriage. You know what I'm saying? Well, let's look at this chart. Hold on. Let me check this other chart real quick. Because the thing about the human body is, let's see if we can find a chart real quick. The thing about the human body is, the body didn't change. You know what I'm saying? So you still, I don't even have to pull up that chart because the human body didn't change. As far as having kids, because you can hold off on having kids later, you can hold off having kids until you're 20, but for the most part, women stop producing around what, age 35? Hold on. Oops. What was it, 40? Is it 35 or 40? I like to be precise, guys, so bear with me. It can occur between ages of 42 and 50. Starts to slow down around 35. So you get a decreased egg count around 35, and then more likely around 40 to 50 is just done and over with. But hold on, we have a graph here. Hold on, let's look at this graph. Okay, so we have a graph here. Monthly fertility rate by age. So it's still the same. Like I said, you still get your period around 12, 13 years old, but then around 40, it just, it's just a sharp decline, like boom. You know what I'm saying? So that pretty much stays the same. The human body pretty much stays the same throughout centuries of years. You know what I mean? But it's just funny how, the less people live, when you were dying around 40 years old, you were quicker to get married. You know what I mean? They said, "Hey, I only have about 20 more years left. I'm 20 now. Only got 20 to 30 more years left. Why not get married?" You know what I'm saying? But since you're living until you're 70 years old and 80 years old, now people are getting married later and later and later. Because right now, as we look at this chart, it's 78 years old. You know what I'm saying? That is the average. What was the average in the 60s? The average in the 60s was 70. Oops. But, due to culture and everything, the average of marriage was around, let's say, 1960. What is that? 24. And that's Business Insider, but I chose that chart because it's with the US Census. 60s was around 20, so 20 to 24. This is Women's Health mag.com. Let's see if I have another chart. Oh, another one's statistics. I already went over that one. That one starts at 1998. But as you can see, these charts are very similar. You know what I'm saying? Even though the human body has not changed, everybody's different, but as a mass, women are not starting their periods at 20 years old. Because generally humans weren't, supposed to live until 100 en masse. No, not at all. You had to have this understanding of life. But people don't understand now. There's so many people that just think they're entitled to live until they're 80, until they're 100. Well, if my grandmother lived until, my grandparents, they lived until, 80 years old, 90 years old, I could just hold off on life. No one's entitled to life, you know what I'm saying? Life does not come with any guarantees. You know what I'm saying? Life does not say, "Hey, you're born, here's a ticket that says you're gonna live until you're 106. So do what you want. You know, you could probably settle down at 90 and find that somebody else that's 90, and then you got more about 16 more years. No, that's not how life works. You know what I'm saying? You could be perfectly fine and die at 34, and you just wasted life. So I don't like people are just funny about this. You know what I'm saying? People are very funny. You know, you wanted to go out and run around, do whatever you want, because you thought you was like, man, I'm just gonna live till I'm at least 75. Nah, you did not. There were so many young ladies that have lost their life, you know, due to other things. And they didn't even get to see shit. Some of them didn't get to see 25, let alone 50. But people understood the urgency of life back then. They understood, hey, you know, I'm getting married at 17. I'm having kids at 17. And this is a reflection in our dating world today in 2021. This is a reflection of it in the 21st century. Now, I could have brought up the Bible, but I know everybody doesn't believe in the Bible. And some of the things I looked at, there's no concrete proof. I like to be factual. But we're talking about, like I said, you could just gauge off these charts. Like I said, from the 1800s, from where we can actually record from the 1800s, life expectancy was around 30 years old. So one can say back in biblical times is pretty much the same. You know, your body is still growing. Your body grows up until, I believe, 20? So you're pretty young. And you have the capabilities to reproduce. Hold on. I don't have a chance to go live, but oops. Hold on. Gotta ask better questions for Google sometimes. Yeah, I don't know what Google's talking about. Put in a specific question. It's so weird sometimes on Google. Okay, you stop growing around 25 or maybe 18. I'm not too sure. But anyway, anybody watching this can just put in the comment section when people stop growing, when your body stops developing. Oh, it says girls usually stop growing and reach adult height by 14 and 15. Huh, interesting. And guys, I think guys, they just grow a little. It says guys just grow a little after the ages of 18. Oh, interesting. That's why girls are mostly around 5 foot. But anyway, so you know, around those ages, let's just start at 20. You stop growing. Yeah, you're pretty much done with life. Of course, you know, you have maturity and other things going on and on and on and on. But just as far as the human body, I'm not speaking for cultures and laws, but just for the human body, we can safely say at 16, 17, you were good to go with life. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the way the human body was created. The human body we never evolved. We have the advancements of modern medicine, but you know, beyond that, we never evolved. Nothing really changed. Everybody still gets puberty around the same age. So like I said, when I say evolved, I'm saying we basically have to get our puberty way later. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about people like if you hit puberty at let's say 25 and you're growing, like I said, because you stop growing once you hit that puberty or it kicks in. So basically from 0 or 1, however you want to start it, up until 25 you'll be growing. You know what I'm saying? And then you hit puberty, then it must pretty much be a cap. Boom, you're good. Then you would grow, so like people would be giants. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. When I'm talking about human evolution, we're just talking in theory now, but you basically be growing. So basically, you would see. Maybe that's why kids are getting bigger these days. But maybe that's why humans are taller. Because I heard a theory about humans were shorter back then. But anyway, irrelevant. Because it's not too many kids that big. But not as mass, you know what I'm saying, as far as the whole world. You have growth hormones and food nowadays, a whole bunch of things going on, but not natural human evolution. But anyway, let me continue on. So basically, around let's say 17, you stop growing. Boom. If you was to increase that to 25, you'll be growing way bigger. You know what I'm saying? And you would look way younger. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about like somebody, you ever see like these medical shows? So you see somebody at 25 and then they will look young. You know what I'm saying? Just a 25-year-old with base like 25-year-olds is mass. You know what I'm saying? Not just one person, the individual, but 25-year-olds in mass will still look like they're 8 years old. You know what I'm saying? Just think about it. Or maybe they will look like they're 13. I'm just looking at these charts right here. So a 13-year-old could be 25. You know what I'm saying? The human evolution, let's say when their puberty hits 25, now they're starting to look like a full adult. And it's like, well, damn. So when this person, let's say, is 25, when they're 30, they will look like a full-grown teenager. You'd be like, whoa. How old are you? Oh, I'm 30. Like, you're 30? You look like you're 18. What is going on here? You know what I'm saying? So basically, that's how human evolution will go if we were supposed to hit puberty way later. You know what I'm saying? Of course, then if they're 30, they look like they're 18. So basically, you will be living until the life expectancy will be through the roof. You basically be living until what? You're well over your hundreds. You know what I'm saying? Because let's say when you're 100, you look like you're 70. You know what I'm saying? So just an exaggeration, but you should get what I'm talking about. And so basically being 100, you'd be looking like you're 70 or 80 or 90 years old. You know what I'm saying? But you're well up there. You'd be aging like a Super Saiyan, basically. If you didn't watch Dragon Ball Z, you don't get the references, okay? But you basically age like a Saiyan. You know what I'm saying? They barely age. You know what I'm saying? They say that Goku's like 80 years old, but he looks like she's 30. He hit puberty. If you watch that show, you will know what I'm talking about. Look up Dragon Ball Z and understand what I'm saying. Because even when he was young, he was like this tall. You know what I'm saying? But he was already like, how old was he? He was already like 12. But Krillin was like he was a man at that age. Krillin was like a full grown. I don't think he was a man, but I think he was a teenager. But they were like the same height. And Goku was looking like a 5-year-old, and but really he was like 15 or something like that. But anyway, that's just if you was to get puberty way later. You know what I'm saying? And you can look at it. You can look this up. We have this in everyday life. It's just not in mass. But when people look, like when people hit puberty late, they usually look younger than what they are. You know what I'm saying? The person would be like, oh yeah, they'd be like, I'm 21. And it's like, you're 21, but you look 16. What's going on? Hit the wrong damn button. Hold on. Doing this blindly here. I'm sorry. I'm so whack at YouTube. So excuse the video quality. Excuse the shaky camera. I hold everything by hand. I don't have a stand or anything yet. So hold on, let me see if I can bring up some pictures. Hold on, because if I could bring some pictures, that'd be good. So for all the new viewers, they can see what I'm talking about. Hold on, let me. What is this about? Because if you ever see those if you ever see those movie stars and actors and they're always playing like teenagers, but they're really like 23, you're like, what the hell? Those are people that hit puberty late. So hold on, let me see this. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought they were showing me some actors that hit puberty late. Oops. So everybody could just get a reference of what I'm talking about when I was talking about the looks. I don't know. Hold on, maybe get something here. Nah, this is talking about something this is talking about something else. But anyway, people have to look it up on their own time. That'll be something you have to look up on your own time because it would take way too long to actually get a reference of what I'm talking about. But because I'm just going along with what I'm talking about. But that was just the answer to her question. Why do girls get their periods so early, so young? Because people didn't live that long. People knew they didn't live that long. And since people knew that they only lived until the 30s and 40s, they got married quicker. You know what I'm saying? She said, shit, I'm only going to live until 40. I'm 20. I might as well get married right now. There's a lot of things they did differently back then. The laws have changed since back then. But like I said, we're only talking about, we're not even talking about the 60s. I said we're talking about up until the 80s. You know what I'm saying? That's when things really started to change. Not even the 80s. We're talking about the 2000s. When the 2000s came and the 90s came, that's when things started to take a different turn. But that's a different topic for another day. But all right, y'all, peace. You know what I'm saying? I want everybody to just be educated on what's going on. Hopefully I answered the question of why people are waiting longer and longer in age to get married, because people really think they're going to live till 80 years old. People are living till 80. You know what I'm saying? If you tell somebody, hey, you're going to live till 90, they go, oh shit, I'll get married when I'm 50. You know, I got another 50 years to go. Why not wait? Why rush? You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole thing about this. But anyway, I answered some good questions. I highlighted some good facts here. I posted everything up here. You know, Statista, U.S. Census. What is this? Oh, this other chart, real quick. This chart right here. This is our world data, ourworldndata.org. So if you wanted to look at this chart, oh, I didn't even speak on this one. So 2015, as you see, was an increase. 79 years old. Canada was 85. 75. Africa got a little bit better. Asia got better. Everybody got better. You know what I'm saying? Australia, they got better at 83. Global average, 71. Oh, there's a chart down here too. Oh, what is it? Oh, I didn't even see this one. So life expectancy, 1770 to 2019. So like I said, around 30 years old. So you can say in biblical times, it was around 30 years old. Like I said. And that chart is very familiar. You know what I'm saying? The average age of marriage goes up as long as the life expectancy goes up. It is what it is, people. You know what I'm saying? When people say, hey, I'm not going to live as long, they get married quicker, they have kids quicker, people move with urgency. Because that's what happens in the animal kingdom. You know what I mean? Lions don't live that long. They don't live until 80 years old. Bugs don't live that long. They don't live till 80. There's no 80-year-old bugs flying around. That'd be horrendous. Just mosquitoes everywhere and flies. But they don't live that long. You know what I'm saying? They have lava. They have larvae. They have the eggs. They come out. They hatch. Larvae running around. I don't know. Then as soon as they're teenagers, they're out here making more eggs. You know what I'm saying? They have to pollinate their colony because they don't live that long. You know what I'm saying? Most animals, most bugs are living about 4 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 3 months, depending on what type of bug it is. So that's why they're always constantly on the go. They're always constantly moving. They're always constantly populating because they don't live that long. Now that we have the luxury of modern medicine, people are living way longer. People are just slowing down. I could just wait. You know what I'm saying? If you were 16 and you had 16 more years to go, you'd be like, oh no, I got to have a family today. Fuck all that shit. I got to have kids. I got to get married. I got to find somebody. I got like 16 more years to go. And then I'm out the door. So it's strange times we're living in. Like I said, we're strange things. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you could say we can argue about men and women, things of that nature, but only women can have kids. You know? So if she wants to be with somebody, she would have to open that door for the man. And that's basically how it would go. But if she doesn't open that door, and she says, well, I can have kids, when I'm 28. Settle down when I'm 28. Look. I ain't making this up. I can settle down when I'm 26. What year? 2010. Settle down. I'm 26. Then 2017. I'll settle down when I'm 27. Because you can have kids up until 35. So, expect this chart to get longer and longer. Expect this chart to get higher and higher. That I believe marriage, like I said, this is 2017. Hold on, let me look at that. Let me look that up for y'all. Oh, here it is, right here. It's already. Hold on. I like to get more than one chart, so let's just here. This is what we'll do. We'll just flick down the page instead of me open up all these tabs. 2020 average age of marriage 33, 32. I just seen another one. 27. The average age people get married in every state between 25 and 30. Average age of heterosexual marriage is 35 for women. Average age for women to get married is now 37.5 and 38. Blah, blah, blah. So, there it is right there. I don't feel like clicking through all those tabs. But as you can see, as of 2020, some of those posts are done in 2020 and 2021. One's in 2020. One's in 2019. And I don't know when this other one was published. That was a study done between 2014 and 2018. And this other one was published. Let's just look at this. This other one was published 2021. and that is the knot.com. So, there it is. Whoop, there it is. So, most guys, they like to have something concrete and foundation before they have kids. So, as you see, you can say, well, why is it, whose fault is it? I'm not even gonna say whose fault is it. I'm just gonna sit up there and point out these statistics, and then you can judge for yourself. But one thing that's true is men want something concrete, a foundation to have their kids on, and the only person who controls having kids is the woman. So if she's getting married, oh, look at these numbers. All these numbers are in the 30s. I'm looking at these states right here. Here, look at these states with me. Alabama 30, Arkansas 30, Arizona 33, California 33, Colorado 32, Connecticut 33, Delaware 33, DC area 33, Florida 34, Georgia 32, Hawaii 36, Idaho 32, Iowa 30, Illinois 32, Indiana 30, Kentucky 31, Kansas 29, that's only one in the 20s, Louisiana 32, Maine 33, Maryland 33, Massachusetts 33, Michigan 32, Minnesota 31, Mississippi 32, Missouri, Montana 31, Nebraska 30, Nevada 37. God damn. I mean, 37, gee. But, you have advanced in modern medicine. New Hampshire 33, New Jersey 33, Arizona, New Mexico, New York 33, North Carolina 32, North and South Dakota 32, Ohio 31, Oklahoma 30, Oregon 32, Pennsylvania 32, Rhode Island, South Carolina 33, Tennessee 31, Texas 32, Utah 29. They have polygamy out there. Legal, you can legally marry more than one wife in Utah. Shout out to Utah. Vermont 33, Virginia 32, Washington 32, West Virginia and Virginia 31, Wisconsin 31, Wyoming, 2 Wyomings and 32. Whew, long list. So there's the facts. Do the facts as you wish, but as you can see, like I said, women have access to sex, and whether a child is born or not, most men I speak to, they want to have a foundation laid in place before they have kids. Now, whether people do that or not, that's up to them. But majority of men like to have a foundation. They don't just want to sit up there and have a kid just floating around, just out there and not have a home to put it in. Can't put food in his stomach and just floating around. But that's a conversation for another day. Baby mama culture, single parent culture, whatever you want to call it. We can have. I already did a story on that. Single mom culture. So I laid the facts out on that one too. So when we figure out what is the reason why people are waiting, women are waiting, let's just call it for what it is, while women are waiting so long to have kids and so long to get married and everything else, even though human body isn't conditioned to have kids at 50 and 60, that still didn't change. You can say, what is it? Why is it so long? Why are they waiting so long? One person said because they're waiting for the men to get established and have careers and be financially stable and everything else, and that really doesn't happen for men until they're in their 30s and 40s. You can say that, but men weren't rich back in the 1800s either. So black men weren't rich during slavery times either. You know what I'm saying? We weren't rich during we weren't mass. We weren't rich during Jim Crow era. So you could say that we're waiting for men to get their money up and be stable and be able and have enough to support a family. That's what we're waiting on. The women can say that, but you know, we didn't have as many millionaires as we did back then as we do now. So you really can't say that. I know the cost of living is higher, but the cost of living has always been high. Even if minimum wage was $1, you still had to pay $150 for mortgage. So you still had to scratch and survive. You know what I'm saying? Cars back then were about $100 something, not 100, but a couple $100. Um, and minimum wage I believe was like $3. So money is not the issue, ladies. Money is not the issue, gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? Money is not the issue. The issue is people are living longer than they were naturally supposed to. You know what I'm saying? If there was something to happen and people stopped living till 60, like if there was something going on and people like, let's just say COVID 46 or something, I don't know, and it was wiping people out that was 60 years old, man, babies would be booming. I'm trying to tell you. But anyway, that's like a what if moment. I'll let What If handle that. Shout out to their show. Like I said, I dig on facts. That's what I do. But it's getting late. I've been on here almost an hour. Well, not an hour, 46 minutes. So man, let me get up out of here, man. Hopefully you enjoyed this show. Hopefully you enjoyed me talking. Hopefully you enjoyed these facts. That's all I come with, nothing but facts. I throw in jokes and opinions in there usually, but these are the facts, people. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I already said peace, but you know, again, sometimes there's always something else to bring up and give you a little part two included in here. So it is what it is. But all right, everybody, you know, I'm out.